Hey everybody, we are here with our latest and final data pack of the first cycle for Netrunner. It is future-proof, and we're going to talk about it.
Yay!
I'm very excited because we get to finish everything off here because generally there's a theme, and here is its completion. So, Tim, why don't you kick us off with Retrieval Run?
All right, we have Retrieval Run. It's a Anarch card. It is 3 cost, event, run. Make a run in archives. If the run is successful, instead of accessing cards, install a program from your heap, ignoring all costs. What?
Pretty sweet.
Wow.
It's so
Pretty
strong.
sweet.
Wow.
It's so strong.
Yes, it is. It's very sweet. What do you think about this influence cost?
I think it's right where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things that you're going to have to think about putting it in. Like if it was 1 influence, it's in almost every deck.
Yeah.
2 influence is like, well, I could put a bunch of other things in its place.
Nice.
Like,
Yeah.
Xanadu's or whatever.
I agree. Yeah, it's great. I don't have any complaints
I
about
mean,
this. I think it's
that-
well costed. It's a potent effect.
It's
Yeah.
a very if you were running, I don't know, say Femme Fatale,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and you're like, I got it in my opening hand. Oh, I'll draw a card and then gain 3 credits, trash it.
Yep.
Oh,
If there was a perceived negative to Wild Side,
it's gone.
it's gone.
See you.
and you said with Andromeda as well.
Yeah.
It's like,
true.
sure, I'll discard these 4 cards.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic.
I mean, that's all there is to say about. I think.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's great. I think we can imagine the possibilities. All right, so next up, we have a card for Anarch called Darwin. It is an Icebreaker, 3 cost, 1 MU, program Icebreaker AI virus. For 2 credits, you may break an ice subroutine. Its strength is X, and X is the number of virus counters on Darwin. And then, when your turn begins, you may pay 1 credit to place 1 virus counter on Darwin.
This icebreaker is very interesting.
It
Yeah.
is interesting.
I think that it will have its place eventually. I don't think it's there yet, though.
Right now, it's Crypsis Jr.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
It's like you go to the dollar menu. It's like I don't need a whole Whopper. I'll get the Darwin.
Yeah.
That's my thought on it. Really, it's good. I think I think it will have its place eventually, but I don't think it's there yet.
I agree, and I think it really will just require some sort of boost through some other cards that will accelerate its ability to get those viruses.
I mean, there's already Surge.
Yeah,
Do you
I
want to
agree.
Surge in your Darwin, though?
No,
yeah,
It's
you
gonna
don't want to
purge
use
it?
Surge on Darwin.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really need it, yeah.
But
Crypsis,
but,
Just run Crypsis.
even with
Crypsis.
that, I would say that paying 2 to break the ice subroutine is a little pricey, especially with the ultimate vulnerability of these virus counters.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a
Especially
wait
with
and
that,
see.
the Cyberdex trial that's coming out. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The 0 cost corp event or
Yeah.
corp operation.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
So
Purge all viruses.
Coronavirus, yeah.
So
It's
it's got a high influence as well. It didn't say that. 3 influence. So I guess this is a marginal card presently, but there's stuff already in the works that could make it
The
better.
fact that it is 3 influence makes me think there is something.
Yeah.
Because it was low costed, then some other card made it great.
Yeah.
And we're still running it.
I think that's a worthy speculation.
Yep.
So Philip, give us the next one.
The next one is another Anarch card.
Nice.
It's Data Leak Reversal. It's 0 cost. It's a resource, virtual, sabotage. Install only if you made a successful run on a central server this turn. If you are tagged, Data Leak Reversal gains click. The corp trashes the top card of R&D.
Pretty cool.
Meh.
It's cool, but it's a resource.
Yep.
So, a bummer there.
It is about it's just if you're taking advantage of it, they'll be like, well, I'll just trash it.
Yeah.
Like, the most you're gonna get out of it's 4 cards, which is nice.
Yeah.
Well, not 4 cards.
I just
'cause-
wish it were an
it-
event instead.
Yeah.
If this
Well-
were an event, I would like it a lot more. But
I mean,
it's a good opener. You can choke the corp a little bit.
mhm.
If they want
Yeah.
to,
if
if they
there's
want to
something
remove
critical
it.
that you can't trash, it's like I just do not want to see them get this or put it out, whatever. That's handy dandy, but I think I would appreciate it more if it were an event rather than a resource.
I don't think it's there yet.
No, I
It is a virtual, so it gets hit
Yeah.
by Foxfire.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it does.
So yeah,
It's just, it's very. I like the idea of it.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
it's going to get play in some decks just because people think it's fun, and I also think that eventually it will have a spot in a theme somewhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
But
not just yet.
floating with a tag is so risky in
Yes.
itself.
You have to build a deck around it.
You have to build a deck around it.
You
All right.
must.
Next is one of my personal favorite cards of the pack.
It's pretty
Fairy.
cool.
It's a 0 cost program, 1 MU. It's an icebreaker killer. It is 2 strength, 0 credits to break a sentry subroutine, 1 credit to get +1 strength. Right there, it sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But then it has a little caveat here. When an encounter with a piece of ice in which you used fairy to break a subroutine ends, trash fairy. It's a one-shot pony to get through a century for ridiculously cheap.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just 0 install cost. That's amazing.
It's so good.
See ya, Archer. Or at
They're-
least for one time.
I mean, it's 4
Yeah.
credits to get through an archer. That's nuts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The thing that I see with it, it could go really well in a like pawn shop Kate deck.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm here. I'm ready to, sell this thing for 3 money if I need to, and I'm also ready for an archer if it comes up.
Influence
Yep.
is a little high for splashing.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I also think that it could combo really well with Sacrificial Construct, prevent it from being trashed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just some thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I think the thing that ultimately holds it back is that free influence.
It works so well with criminal because it's like, oh, I'm going to break the archer. No, I'm going to dereg your archer.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well.
For 4
Yeah.
credits,
Yeah.
5 credits with
Yeah.
the Crescentus.
Anywho,
Yeah.
interesting. We'll see how it pans out. Next up, we have Mr. Lee, a 3-cost resource for criminal. He is a connection, and then he reads: click, draw 2 cards, add 1 of those cards to the bottom of your stack.
I like this a lot.
It's pretty good.
I think it's super solid. It just helps criminal get to the cards that they wanted in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
2 influence, so it's splashable. I don't see people splashing it a ton, but
Yeah.
and the flavor text is awesome.
It's true. Yeah, the flavor text is spectacular. Even the art's good. So yeah, I think this is fairly self-explanatory, but
It's a draw effect. That's
it's something
solid.
criminal didn't really have, like other affiliations, but
Helps
pretty
them
good.
dig.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, we have a first Shaper card in this pack. It's Indexing. It's an event. It's a 0 cost. You have to make a run. Make a run on R&D. If successful, instead of accessing cards, you may look at the top 5 cards of R&D and arrange them in any order.
It's a reverse precog.
Yeah.
I like it a
nuts.
lot.
Great.
It's nuts.
I like it a lot.
It's so good.
I could see this working well in a noise deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it works well in Shaper regardless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Irregardless.
It's so, in a game where knowledge is so much,
Mhm.
having more knowledge of what's coming up in the corpse deck than they do is
Yeah.
like,
Seeing 5 cards in the corp deck is nuts.
yeah.
It really, but
For
like,
0
even if it was
cost,
just
it's
accessing
crazy.
them, like if you just got to look at them, like
High influence.
but the fact that you get
High
to
influence.
put them in any order is nuts. Like, oh, I'm gonna put all 3 agendas on top, and you're gonna draw 3 agendas, and I have an easy route to your hand, or
Yeah.
or it's like I'm gonna put all 3 on top, and I'm gonna Maker's Eye,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
it's just nuts.
So who else other than Shaper is going to be willing to run this with that 3 influence though?
Like I said, I think Noise could do it just to put things on top and then trash them.
Mhm.
Maybe it switches Noise up because Noise is already kind of doing the personal workshop thing, which is 3, 4.
See, I don't think
Oh.
Noise should run Personal Workshop, and people will think I'm dumb for saying that.
Noise doesn't need it.
He doesn't.
You probably could spend influence on something else, but
Sure. Yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
I mean,
who knows?
I helped the guy build the deck the other day, and there's like he had 9 influence left over, and I was like,
Whoa.
I guess we can put Personal Workshop.
Excellent. Well, there you have it. Next up.
Next, we have R&D interface. It's a 4-cost hardware. Whenever you access cards from R&D, access 1 additional card from R&D. It's super solid. It's just like HQ interface,
It's
but
hardware.
for R&D. It's
It is-
hardware,
it's
2
hardware.
influence.
Yeah,
This is nice.
It's super solid. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
pairs nicely with the card from last pack, which is you can install multiples of
Mhm.
the same thing.
Mhm.
the replicator.
Or replicator, yeah, and go get it after you install one.
Yeah.
It works well with everything Shaper's ever gotten in their life.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna make Maker's Eye for 5 cards now.
Yeah, it's sort of like everyone's. The Shaper was too slow. Like, oh, they got to build their rig. But if I'm a corp and I'm like, their rig is going to. I don't want them to make 1 run
Mhm.
with
No.
that rig right now. It's devastating.
Yeah, you have to protect R&D like it's nobody's business.
I mean, I think it's just fairly obvious it combos well with medium as well to get more cards. It's about it though.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm just glad it's hardware.
Mhm.
It's not terribly expensive for what it does for persistent
I'm
effect.
glad
No-
it can't be purged like medium.
Yeah, exactly. So next up, 1 cost, 1 MU Deep Thought Virus for Shaper. Whenever you make a successful run on R&D, place 1 virus counter on Deep Thought. If there are at least 3 virus counters on Deep Thought, it gains, quote, when your turn begins, you may look at the top card of R&D.
Dumb.
This is great.
Yeah.
So good.
This is so nice. Like, this saves you so many clicks just for like knowing what is coming.
Yeah.
That because generally, unless you have a way to look deeper than that one card, which we now do with R&D interface, it's just, well, I don't have to necessarily feel like I have to make that run on R&D just to make sure they don't get that critical agenda, that critical card, what have you. Awesome.
And it's just knowledge. It's like, oh, I know what card you're going to draw next turn.
Yep. And then if it is something that is worthwhile, then make that run.
The other thing is, like, if you're a shaper and this is the only virus you're running, it's like, are they really going to purge it? Like,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just going to get back again.
Yep.
It's so...
Yeah, you have to protect R&D exceptionally well against Shaper now. This pack has made it a significant problem to a critical problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
And we said before, that's one of the most efficient places you can run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, already. Yeah.
Yep. I also think this combos well with noise.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a virus to influence, and then...
Because then you can pick when you need to
install
a virus. Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah.
So, next up.
Okay, we have a neutral runner card. Is New Angeles City Hall to 1 costed. It's a resource, location, government. 2 credits, avoid 1 tag, and trash New Angeles City Hall when you steal an agenda.
Solid. I mean, I've heard people talking about comboing it with, like, Joshua B.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
But
interesting.
as soon as you score an agenda with it, you're stuck with a tag at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the Crash Bases did this as well, right? At least it's a neutral.
Crash Base is 2 recurring credits to remove a tag.
Oh man, that's better.
Well,
but this avoids it.
Yeah.
You can't get snared on
That's what I'm saying. Like, this
Yeah.
avoids it. It's different.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I think it will have its place eventually. It might find its way into a couple decks now, but
yeah,
I don't really think it's worth the slot right now.
Yeah, I would agree.
No, I don't think it's worth the slot.
It's
currently.
okay. It's okay.
All right, we have one of my favorite cards in the pack, Eli 1.0. It's a 3 cost, 4 strength barrier. The runner may spend click to break any subroutine on Eli 1.0 and has 2 subroutines, into the run and in the run.
And it's a Bioroid barrier.
It's a Bioroid. It's 1 influence.
What?
1 influence.
It's crazy.
It's so good.
Like, as good as this is, and I love this card, all it makes me think about is how good is that 2.0 going to be when Creating Control comes out. But needless to say, this is fantastic, easily splashed. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, right now you run Ice Wall if you want a cheap barrier. This one is more expensive, but 4 strength.
Yes.
Starts out where you want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. And here's my favorite card of the pack. I was really excited to see this. It's Ruhr Valley, which is a HB region, 3 influence, 6 cost, 4 to trash, and it reads, as an additional cost to make a run on this server, the runner must spend 1 click. Limit 1 region per server. This is awesome.
It's good.
It's
It's real good.
Woo! Ooh, this
mean,
in combination with Bioroid Ice is...
I mean, I think
less than that. Run. The turn's gone.
Yep.
I
See you
think
next turn.
Yeah.
I think we're sensing a theme here.
Yes. Oh, man.
It's just super solid.
It is super solid. I love this so
4
much.
trash cost is a little bit easier to trash for a 6 cost.
Yeah.
But if it were any higher,
Well,
I
there's
think it
being a
would be
click as
a
well.
real
I
big
get it.
problem. Yeah.
Well, it used to be all this Bioroid stuff. You can always click to get through it. Now it's like, oh man, there's not enough clicks in the turn to get through all their stuff.
Especially if you feel like you need to draw or do anything else on these
You might be
turns.
able to click like one subroutine that's gonna like destroy you.
Yes.
Like, I'm not taking that brain damage.
But the scary part is like if you think about the future of HB servers that have this region and then the 2.0 ICEs so you have to spend 1 to make the run, 1 to an additional to pay for that cost, and then it's 2 credits to break any 2 subroutines. So then it's like, well, there's my entire turn. I hope it was a good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is great. I love the mounting theme, and I can't wait to start throwing it in some decks.
It's good.
That's good flavor text as well.
Yes. Yes. Excellent flavor text.
Oh man, do you just want to jump ahead to this one?
I really do.
Okay.
All right. The next card in the pack is a Jinteki card. This is my personal favorite card in the pack. It's an asset. It's hostile. It's called the Ronin. It's a 0 res cost. Ronin can be advanced. If there are at least 4 advancement tokens on Ronin, it gains click, trash, do 3 net damage. It's a 2 trash cost with 4 influence.
It's serious business.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yep.
It just adds what we needed to what is that in that server? It's advanced twice. Is it a Ronin? Is it a Junebug? Is it an agenda? It's not advanced. Is that an Edge of World? Is it a Brain Trust?
Right.
It just adds that one more thing that we needed to
Don't
complete.
Queen's Gambit that.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't Queen's Gambit. Crap.
But that is excellent.
Yeah.
Absolutely excellent. Also, the art is amazing and
The
incredibly
flavor
thematic.
Yeah.
So I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's fantastic. All right.
All right, I guess I'll grab this one.
Yeah, sure.
It's Midori. It's unique. 0 res cost upgrade. Once per turn, when the runner approaches a piece of ice protecting the server, you may swap that ice with a piece of ice from HQ. The new ice is installed unresed. That's 3 trash costs.
I saw this card originally and I was like, it's cool. And then the more I see it, the more I like it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to run in your hand. Or I'm going to run on this server. It's like, because I have a pop-up window on it. You know, it's like, sure, you can get through that.
Yep.
And it's like, well, I'm going to res Midori, and then now it's a no katana.
Yeah.
And you're taking 3 net damage because you didn't have a
no.
Sentry Breaker. Or
Yeah.
or
But yeah,
whatever.
I
It
think it has some versatility. It's probably not the versatility that you necessarily were expecting or wanted, but I think it's pretty decent.
The 0 res cost is really what makes
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
For sure.
If it had any higher, then it would not be worth it, I don't think.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let's pause there. Look, old BR here. Look, who got a haircut.
Looking good. Come in and sit down. We're almost done. We're stacking you guys
Yeah.
up back here.
Join the peanut gallery.
All right.
Recorded in frame of line speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start in
6 to go.
3, 2.
All right, next up we have, finally, another identity for NBN, much awaited. The world is yours. Identity Megacorp. Your maximum hand size is increased by 1, and its stats are 40 cards and 12 influence.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's very interesting.
So good.
Very interesting. So you've thought more about this than I have because I generally gravitate towards HB, but what do you think about this?
It's crazy. You can run 18 agenda points,
Mhm.
and you can run
Yeah.
3 Project Beals, 3 Astro Scripts, 3 Breaking News, and 3 False Leads.
False leads, yeah.
All of your agendas are 3 advancements or less.
Mm-hmm.
In a faction that has Sansan in faction.
Just go crazy fast.
Yeah.
Makes
It's
the fast
so fast.
the fastest deck even faster.
It really does. It just blows my mind. And the influence, people are like, well, if you don't have 15 influence, it's not going to be a good deck. It's like,
No.
that's not true at all.
It makes your choices a little bit harder, but with a smaller deck anyway, there you are.
Yeah.
It's completely worth it, I think.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm sure all the NBN players out there are just
Drooling.
loving this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Super excited.
nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
So speaking of Project Beal, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, this is my favorite card
Yeah.
of the entire pack as an NBM player. Project Beal, it's a 3/2, or 2/3, however you want to look at it. It's two
3/2.
points, 3 to res, or 3 to score. The agenda is when you score Project Beal, place 1 agenda counter on it for every 2 advancement tokens over 3. Project Beal is worth 1 additional agenda point for each agenda counter on it. That's awesome.
It is
good.
awesome.
Immediately, my thoughts go to psychographics.
It's
which-
the
Yeah.
first card that's like, I'm going to run. It's like, I can now. Because
Mhm.
usually it's like, okay, I score 1. You can out of hand score something huge if you have the money.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's
it's
true.
nuts.
All right.
It's nuts. I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
it's great. It gives you just that little bit more. I mean, even if there's a simple scenario
and
where
But if you have
they
Sand
didn't
Sands, it's
discover
another
it.
out of hand you can just score.
Yeah.
if
It's
you don't have
insane.
Sand Sands, it's a 3/2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, it's a 3/2
Yeah.
that has a cool effect if you walk into a place where it works.
Yeah.
It's true.
I mean, that's
A lot of versatility.
all there is to say about it.
A lot of versatility.
Next, we have MidSeason Replacements. It's a 5-cost operation for NBN, 4 influence. Play only if the runner's stolen agenda during his or her last turn. Trace 6. If successful, give the runner tags equal to the amount by which your trace strength exceeded his or her link strength. Now, I know that you guys were going gaga over this.
I wasn't.
Someone,
I
it was
was.
John. John was going gaga over it.
I'm with him on that. It's a little pricey.
It's pricey
It is
for an
pricey.
effect that can take place 4 times in a game, pretty much.
Yeah. But how okay. Maybe I just look at it differently. If they steal, 1 point agenda, and then you hit him with that, like that's devastating to the runner.
Right,
Like,
but
wow,
that
that was worth my time and money to run that server.
But now you're saying that like they had to score this 1 point agenda, which is a lot on them,
Yeah.
and then you had to also have this card in your hand in that moment. And then you also had to have the money for that card in that moment.
You're running the new identity.
And you have to
one copy.
And you have to
it's
hope
in
that
your
they don't
hand.
have a strong link or an economy.
And then you just run the other. You can make a tag deck now.
I'm just saying, like
That's what it's all about.
the things that
It's tagging.
the things that
What do you
trigger
do
off
with
of
those tags?
Psychographics all the way. Project Beal out of hand. Win the game.
You're very
the
excited.
things that trigger off stealing an agenda. The runner has to steal it.
Yeah.
I get them. I like the idea of them, but it's still.
Did you know that the runner tries to steal agendas?
I do know that. But I mean, you're counting on having this card one of four
Yeah, I know.
times in the game.
You're not going to take 3 of them, obviously. It's not
Yeah,
worth that.
no.
But it's like the one that you have.
I just can't support it.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. But I think ultimately I'm falling.
Like I won't think anyone is unintelligent for running it. But I just would
it's
not
one of
run
the
it.
cards that when you see it, when it does go off, it'll be great. But the chance it's going to be a low percentage. So it's
You
kind
should
of
probably
like
run it then.
Well,
Come on.
so room for debate on that one. Next up is the prize for card that makes me the most jealous because it's not in my faction here is Flare. 9 cost, 6 strength, ice, Sentry Tracer AP, 1 subroutine that reads Trace 6. If successful, trace 1 piece of hardware, do 2 meat damage, cannot be prevented, and end the run.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Jiminy Christmas. This is one powerful piece of ice for Sentry.
It's worth noting that this is an AP,
I know.
so Deus Ex can break it.
That's
Yep.
the biggest bummer of the whole ice, but it's
Deus Ex can break it.
It can break it. But this is one of the best pieces of ice we've seen in a while.
It's nuts.
super strong.
It's going into my deck right now.
Everything you need in one subroutine. Whew.
and
Trace 6.
What
Yeah.
we talked about before, NBN had to use a lot of influence on ice
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't have a lot in the run stuff.
Yep.
And now they can run a good Sentry, a good Kogate, and all they need is a barrier, and they're set.
That's right.
Front Ice Wall.
It's-
Or Eli.
Yeah, it's great. I'm jealous. I hate you, NBN. I wish this
I
was for
mean-
HB. Too bad. I'm sad.
It is what it is.
Oh, my up? Man.
Yeah, it's you.
Dedicated response team. This is Wayland. It's a 2-to-res asset, 3 trash cost. If the runner is tagged, dedicated response team gains. Whenever a successful run ends, do 2 meat damage.
Solid.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
People won't want to take those data raven tags anymore.
That's right. Maybe not.
Yeah, well, I don't think they were anyway against Wayland.
I know, but it's even more reason not to.
Yeah, Wayland is devastating at when you're finishing your runs.
Yes.
You don't want to do it.
You thought this was over, but it's not.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. The
See,
art
that-
on this is phenomenal.
That's
as
pretty
well.
cool. I'm just glad that you finally have something more to do with tags.
Mm-hmm.
Gives that a little bit more that we were looking for. Granted, it's for the Wayland only, and maybe HB needed that more. But
HB needs everything.
yes, not HB. I meant to say NBN. But
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
I think it's a good card.
I
think
agree.
it'll see play.
I agree.
Up next, we have Burk Bugs. It's a 0 cost to res ice, 0 strength Sentry Destroyer. It's a trace 0. It's the 1 subroutine. If successful, the runner trashes 1 program. I think this could really catch someone by surprise and
It could.
destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It could also be completely pointless.
I was waiting for this. I was like, will he say the honest truth? Yes. I agree. It's either going to be very nice or very awful. So time will tell.
But
I love
It's
the,
all
Flavor
situational.
Text is
Flavor
great.
Text is great.
Yeah, this is one of the most situational pieces of advice we've seen in a while.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
It has potential, but it also has potential to not.
Yes.
It's like, okay, well, what's Rototurret?
0 cost, or 4 cost, 0 strength, 2 subroutines, trash program in the run.
In the run. So this isn't in the run, but it's free, and you're going to spend 4 the same price.
It's true.
It's sort of.
I'm
It's
not
just-
saying it's bad.
it's just
I'm
the
not
trace
saying it either.
zero.
I'm saying it's sort of. You could run either or, maybe.
Yeah.
I think Rototurret maybe.
I mean, Rototurret at the same time is just as breakable as this.
That's
like,
true.
Like if I have a Crypsis out, it's breaking both of them ridiculously.
Yeah.
Or a Ninja.
Yep.
It's like,
Real quick. All right, last card. Corporate War. It is a neutral agenda, 2 points, 4 to develop, and it is an expansion traded agenda. I don't know if that's critical off the top of my head. Anyway, if you have at least 7 credits when you score Corporate War, gain 7. Otherwise, lose all credits in your credit pool. Love it.
it's great.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
Just get richer.
I
Yep.
think it's going to replace Private Security Force in 99% of all
Yeah.
decks.
Yep. If yeah,
I agree.
90. I would say 100.
I would say this is the one you're going to run. If you have to run a neutral.
I'm just
That's
saying
what
the
you're gonna
1% as an exception,
Yeah.
so I don't get yelled at later.
I just think this is really, really good. It's like having a mine out, but it's part of your agenda here. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yes.
Like, I mean,
Can't say enough good things about it.
I've been looking forward to this ever since it was spoiled forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, I want that.
I can't wait to someone to come out.
Yes,
I know.
indeed.
I was ready for it.
So, final thoughts? Whole pack? Whole
It's
cycle?
It's a super strong pack.
Mhm.
The pack is great. The cycle, we don't really have anything to compare it against right now.
That's true.
But I mean,
Everyone got love. I think
I think everyone got what they
Mhm.
needed to create a balanced and fun play environment.
Yeah, I would agree. So there you have it, folks. This is Future Proof, end of the first cycle for Netrunner, and you can find this on our store at teamcovenant.com, along with subscriptions, identity packs, singles, you name it, and also the next hot thing that'll be coming out, pre-orders for Create and Control. So hit us up for that if you're at all interested in supporting what we do, and we'll catch you the next time.